I honestly believe Keith Ellison and Governor Walz need to be held accountable. There needs to be an investigation done. If they weren't aware, that's concerning.
Bock recently told the New York Post that she struggles to believe that Minnesota Congresswoman Illhan Omar did not know about the fraud. Omar sponsored the legislation that was exploited to make the scam possible.
Breaking news, a Minnesota judge has just sentenced the mastermind behind the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, Aimee Bock. She just got more than 41 years in prison.
Yes, great. Now let's indict Tim Walz and Keith Ellison for their complicity. What do you want to see?
I want to see Keith Ellison and Tim Walz both held accountable for what they did here. Tim Walz covered it up. Keith Ellison took kickbacks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it turns out Nick Shirley was correct. Big ups to him for exposing all of this rampant fraud that's been taking place in Minnesota over child care services. You got to be a special type of lowlife to defraud the government using a combination of COVID relief funds, child care funds, hospice funds. Like, these people are just freaking disgusting.
At Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare?
It's not here.
Okay, but if can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son, little Joey, to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card, actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children?
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two of Mexico.
Would my son, little Joey, have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey?
Yes. Sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare.
And people like Illhan Omar and Tampon Tim Walz are going to be in big trouble as well. But before we get to them, we got to talk about this lady named Fahima Muhammad. Okay, her Feeding Our Future daycare services were exposed and she's been indicted. Let's go ahead and react to this. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
As a Feeding Our Future defendant faces new charges in another fraud scheme.
Fox 9's Mike Manzoni went through the
there
charging documents today, and Mike, prosecutors say the woman also defrauded a state child care program.
Yeah, federal prosecutors say Fahima Muhammad did all this after already ripping off the government during the Feeding Our Future scheme.
We'd like to ask where the money's going.
Months after the now closed Future Leaders Early Learning Center appeared in a conservative influencer video exposing fraud in Minnesota, the former owner is facing brand new federal charges. According to court records, between late 2022 and the end of last year, Fahima Muhammad submitted $4.6 million worth of reimbursement claims to the state's low-income child assistance program. But prosecutors say she never collected the co-payments required in roughly half of those claims. Still, they say Muhammad lied on forms saying she did collect the co-payments. Prosecutors say this all started nearly 2 years after they say Muhammad got involved with the Feeding Our Future scheme also through her Future Leaders Early Learning Center in Minneapolis. They charged her in that scheme 3 months ago, saying she received more than $850,000 in reimbursements for serving meals to children. But prosecutors say she only spent a little more than $100,000 on food.
Wow.
And if convicted, federal prosecutors are also seeking to have Muhammad forfeit any property that she may have gotten from money from the alleged scheme. Randy Kelsey.
And guys, not just that, you also have the alleged leader who literally just got a 41-year sentence after being busted being the alleged ringleader behind all of this.
Minnesota judge has just sentenced the mastermind behind the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, Aimee Bock. She just got more than 41 years in prison. The prosecution is asking for a 50-year sentence and her defense about 3 years. So that's somewhere in the middle that they got that, but closer to what obviously the prosecution wanted. The scheme involved the theft of nearly $250 million in COVID funding. That money was meant to feed hungry children. State leaders claim they were unaware of the fraud. Here's what Aimee Bock told our Alexis McAdams from jail back in January.
I honestly believe Keith Ellison and Governor Walz need to be held accountable. There needs to be an investigation done. If they weren't aware, that's concerning.
You mentioned feeding our futures just a second ago. Let's not forget, Keith Ellison had a meeting in his office with the Feeding Our Futures fraudsters. They asked him, Kaylee, to please help them get the investigators off their backs. He agreed to help them, and then just a few days later, he took thousands of dollars in campaign contributions. All of this is public. It's been reported. I confronted him about it a couple of months ago under oath. This guy ought to be in prison. Here's the thing that gets me. These guys are celebrated as stars of the Democrat Party. Keith Ellison, rising star. He's a total scam artist. He ought to be in jail.
I have to believe that the governor's office and Keith Ellison's office were aware of this. It all went through a process. They were all approved. They were all paid by the state, yet all the fingers are being pointed at me.
Uh-oh, I'm sure you guys caught that. It looks like Tampon Tim Walz has been implicated here, guys. She said, hey, they need to not just investigate me. How could these other people not have known? And I 100% agree. These people hid behind this veil of racist. Well, it's going to be racist if we say anything, so we're just going to let this fraud just keep going. This is why people don't want these individuals to lead, because these people, when there's a problem, since they know it's going to harm them politically, instead they just try to hide it and try to get away with it. If you identify a problem and then you solve it, it's really not going to hurt you politically, because then you weren't getting caught trying to do a cover-up. Does this not make logical sense to everybody watching?
Whistleblowers told a congressional committee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison there ignored warnings for years as millions of dollars and millions were stolen on their watch. Congress is investigating a long list of massive fraud schemes in the state. It's hard to keep up. Prosecutors say it's led to at least $9 billion in fraud, data and counting. Congress also asking why the Attorney General there would meet with a group of Somali fraudsters, which were under FBI investigation in 2021. The group can be heard in an audio clip given to us by Bock's lawyer, offering to donate to his campaign if he can help them get their funding flowing again.
You would think that big, strong, powerful leaders with all of this experience that they love to freaking brag about would have some integrity and not try to cover up fraud and hide behind this shield of was racist to say anything. But Illhan Omar here is doing just that, trying to act like she had no idea what was going on, even though this same lady that we just saw was saying that, well, yeah, Omar was one of the people who allowed this gravy train to keep going, and it happens to be a bunch of Somalians, which is what Omar is. So you really think she had no clue what was going on?
Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent, and that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
You know, we're also, as Minnesotans, as taxpayers, really upset and angry about the fraud that has occurred.
Why do you think, I guess, that you're being targeted then? It's
because they're racist, they're xenophobic. I just happen to be Muslim, and I don't think you're allowed to continue from there. But,
okay. Understood.
Yeah, I mean, they're just disgusting, bigoted people, and that's all I gotta say.
All right.
In my opinion, this woman not only needs to be arrested, she needs to be straight up arrested and deported back to her home country. Take her butt back to Somalia. Why the hell is she even here? They need to go ahead and Uno reverse that green card, whatever type of citizenship she got. They need to make, if it's never happened before, she needs to be the first and made an example of, because you can't just come to the country and just commit all of this type of fraud and be literally the actual ringleader who's handling this, doing all these approvals behind the scenes, and then just get away with it because you're a member of Congress. No. If people like the president can't be above the law, if people like Governor Walz can't be above the law, right? Even people can't even hide behind racism to get and skirt around the law, then why the heck are these Congress people treated with these kid gloves? Freaking lock these people up. I'm so tired of it, guys. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies, Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
But I'm telling you, if you're a fraudster, do not walk away from this press conference. Run, because we are coming after you. We have lots of weapons to be able to use in order to accomplish that.